Happy lunch hour, guys. Okay, hopefully everybody's making themselves a turkey sandwich and chilling out here a little bit over the lunch hour, because you're probably doing the same thing I am and putting up Christmas trees or hanging decorations or doing something if you're not sleeping after being out at 3 o'clock in the morning doing your shopping, for those of you who were crazy enough to go out and deal with that. But those that weren't, I hope you caught both this morning's videos and maybe got some of your Christmas shopping, or with a little luck, Christmas winning done. But that's not what we're here to talk about. So how many of you guys remember the name or are familiar with the name Giorgia Meloni? Okay, Giorgia Meloni is the Prime Minister of Italy, who won her election a couple of months back. All right. And she is an Italy first conservative. Okay, Italy first conservative. Italy's had as a prime minister in probably a couple of decades. All right, but Giorgia Meloni has come up, or has introduced, I guess, with a solution for Italy's laziness problem. Okay, and it's funny because it's actually the law here in the United States. It's just not followed. Okay. Italy has the same problem the United States has. A bunch of freeloaders who are perfectly willing to work, are perfectly able to work, just not willing to work. And so they're collecting their unemployment or whatever social programs that they qualify for in Italy. Now, Giorgia Meloni has come up and said, either you take a job, or if you're an able-bodied person, either you take a job or you're cut off. End of story. Sorry, no more. We're not paying for people to be lazy. Now, this topic I can speak of very, very well from personal experience. For the simple reason is, go back 30 years ago, I worked for the Illinois Department of Employment Securities, which is the state unemployment tax bureau, okay, collecting delinquent taxes from employers. And then, of course, you guys know I spent 18 years as a recruiter. The law as it's written in the United States to collect unemployment says you have to file at least, most states at least 3 job applications a week in order to qualify to collect unemployment benefits. Okay. Back in the day, when I was working for IDES, it was a little more difficult. You had to actually go to the place of employment, fill out an application with a pen and a piece of paper and do it. Now it's simple. You get online, you look at Monster or LinkedIn or Career Builder or whatever, and you go, instant apply. Click, click, click. And by 8:02 Monday morning, you've got your 3 applications in, and then you spend your half an hour filling out your unemployment claim form, and you're done. Okay. And most people don't even apply to jobs they're qualified for. They just apply to 3 jobs. It doesn't matter. There's no checks and balances in there. This is the first problem, and this is what Meloni is trying to combat. And this is what needs to be done in the United States, because I want to give you just an idea real quick. Unemployment is paid for by each particular state. Now, there is a federal unemployment fund, unemployment trust fund. But to give you an idea what it is, after, it's a 6% tax up to the first $7,000 that somebody makes. Okay, so it would be $420 that a company would have to pay for each employee into the federal fund. However, with all the discounts / rebates and whatever, the majority of companies pay 0.6%. So $42 a year in unemployment into the federal trust fund. Now, unemployment does not come from the feds. It comes from each one of the states. And companies also pay into the state unemployment fund. I worked for the Illinois Department of Employment Security, so this was for Illinois. The reason the federal program exists is in case we have a situation where the states don't have enough money to pay all the unemployment claims, they can borrow money from the government. Okay. And there was like 35 states after the Great Recession that borrowed from the government. Okay. This will come as a big shocker to you. The one that still hasn't repaid that debt is California. Okay. Just saying, California's good at borrowing money. They're just not good at paying it back. So the money is paid for by the states. And when you file your unemployment claim, you have to make it to your particular state. The problem is the states don't track it at all. Okay. They don't confirm that you actually did those applications. You could just put 3 names of companies on there. I sent it to this email address or this website, and that's that. So we go back to when I was a recruiter, and I'm going to give you a story. This is when I was working in New Hampshire. So this was 2011, I believe. Okay, and we were still somewhat in the throes of the Great Recession. Okay, at least the employment part of it was. Everybody was looking for jobs, and I was recruiting at the time engineers and accounting people. And I had called a guy about a job. He was qualified. He was interested. He went for the interview. And I mean, it was a good paying job. Okay. I don't remember exactly what the dollars were or anything like that, but it was probably 30, 40 bucks an hour. Okay. To work as a contractor, but it was a job. He went to the interview. The company wanted to hire him. I called him up. I said, congratulations, you got the job. I really don't want it. It's going to be too far of a drive, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, oh, I said, are you collecting unemployment right now? Yeah. Okay. You realize that you're not allowed to turn down a job offer and keep your unemployment benefits. Well, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm obligated to tell the state that you turned down a job offer. Surprisingly, he had a change of heart and took the job, okay, and did a good job at it. Okay. That's what's supposed to happen. Companies are supposed to report to the state people that turn down a bona fide job offer. Now, of course, you're not going to offer let's just use this for a crazy example, a guy who applies for a job as a lawyer, and you're going to say, gee, we'll offer you a job as a receptionist. He's not going to, no job you're qualified for. That is within reason. That's what's supposed to happen. Companies don't do it, and the respective state unemployment offices don't check. Okay. This is the problem for the laziness. What we need to do is exactly what Georgia Meloni is doing, and start enforcing this and say, you have to apply for a job. We're going to do spot checks. We're going to do random checks and make sure you did it. Okay. And the companies need to, the companies, a lot of the companies are the ones that are bitching, saying they can't find people. But what the companies need to do is start reporting the people that they make a job offer to, because God knows they're making a job offer to anybody that walks and talks at this point, and reporting them to the states and saying, we offered this guy a job and he turned us down. And the state should go, oh, okay, off. No more money for him. Okay. I know this sounds cold, right? But this is the thing. This is what Meloni is doing to combat the laziness in Italy. Gee, do we have any laziness in the United States? I can't speak for Canada or Australia or Great Britain or Italy. Well, Italy, obviously, because I'm not there. But I can tell you what I experience here, and what from people I talk to here is we have a huge laziness problem. I think I told you last week there are 7 million able-bodied men between ages 18 and 25 who aren't working, and there's 7 million open jobs that need to be filled. Gee, crosses over real nice. We need to do this and force this on our own. If you're a business owner, Start calling your state and saying, I offered Joe Smith a job and he turned it down. You need to cancel his unemployment. Okay. Or whatever would be. You need to tell your local representative or your local state senator, remember this is done on a state basis, that they need to start enforcing the unemployment rolls, because the companies pay into this unemployment trust fund for each state as well. And when they can't find the employees, that causes a problem for business, which causes a problem for all of us to get things done, for to be stuff on the shelves, for whatever. A lot of you have told me about things like dollar stores around you that are closed because they have no employees. This is exactly why. Because it's too easy to collect the benefits and they're too lazy to go to work. Now, in Meloni's deal, obviously, she says people that are unable to work for whatever reason, okay, whether it's a physical deal, whether it's a mental deal, whether it is you're retired, whatever would be, age out or anything like that, sure, that is still supposed to be there, okay? But for the working age people, I'm a working age person, okay, who is able to work, I'm able to work, okay, I don't try to collect unemployment, okay? And the people that are out there like me going, hey, look at this, free ride, I can be a quiet quitter, that generation. It's time that the government puts the screws to them and says, the days of the free lunch are over. Because believe it or not, you and I are paying for them to sit on their ass, eat their potato chips, and play their video games, because the price of the stuff in the store goes up, because the unemployment taxes go up, okay? The lack of stuff on the store because they don't have people. And then you get all these, well, I deserve this crap. No, you don't deserve anything. Last time I checked, in this country, you worked or you starved. I'm sorry, but the free lunch needs to end. Pinball out.